Today's subject is the swinging volley, a very valuable tool to have in the toolbox. You see that floater, and you can take a full cut at the ball. But one thing you have to remember is that when you're hitting a swinging volley, where you're taking a full swing, just like you would be taking, let's say, on a high bouncing ball to the forehand side, you're taking that full swing, but now you're well inside the baseline. So your technique, number one, has to be really sound. Number two, you have to make sure you get some top spin on the ball, because when you come up into here, you know, and you're hitting a ball up here, you've really got to put some spin on the ball. So there's a couple of things that are key to be successful with this shot. Number one is grip, and I'll show you that in a minute. The other thing is your backswing. And when I'm talking about the backswing, I'm talking about, let's say you're coming inside the baseline and you see that floater. The backswing is what you're doing here as you're preparing. That's all part of your backswing, taking your racket back. So here's the key. As you bring your racket back, you want to keep your hitting elbow up and away from your body. When you do that, you'll notice that the racket face is closed. You can see my racket face is facing down. Okay, so if the elbow is up away from the body, you know, you've got good space here, and it's up away, the racket face stays down. Now, watch what happens to the racket when I drop my elbow in towards my body. When I come into the body, the racket naturally opens up. Now, if this happens, if your elbow gets in too tight, now the racket's open and you have to close it on the forward swing. And remember, when ball meets strings, that's a millisecond happening. So your timing has to be absolutely perfect. Whereas if you keep that elbow up away, the racket face stays closed. Now, if it's closed as you swing from low to high, it's naturally going to be vertical in this contact area. There's no adjustments to be made. So now you're just swinging through the shot. Once you get through, then you can relax the forearm and wrist and come across the body. But those two key things, grip, number one. Number two, focus on your backswing. That's going to be key also. Let me show you the grip. Okay, all tennis racket handles are octagonal, and we're going to give those flat surfaces their numbers. Number one is that flat surface on top, small bevel there, number two, number three on the side, 4, small bevel underneath, and 5 on the bottom. Same thing for a left-hander going the other way. Now, taking the hitting hand, you're going to use this as a reference point. The index knuckle on the inside of the hand and the heel of the hand. So you've got 2 points there. Index knuckle on the inside and the heel of the hand. Now, you want those 2 points on at least number 3 on the side here, which would be an Eastern forehand, or number 4, which would be a semi-Western. Okay, semi-Western, you know, really closes up the face really well. Eastern, not quite, you know, you're a little more flat, and you just have to push the racket down a little bit. So either one of those grips will work. But if you're at a continental grip, which is where those 2 reference points are more on number 2, that would be a very difficult grip to hit this swinging volley with. So you wouldn't want to be there. You've got to turn it to 3 or 4. So that's Eastern or semi-Western. So keep that elbow up and away from the body. And that will prevent the racket face from opening up. Okay, here in slow motion, you're going to get a good look at it.
Notice here how that, watch here is the hitting elbow right there. See how high that hitting elbow is. And look at the racket face, facing the ground. Turning the shoulders, got my left hand still on the throat of the racket. Now as the racket comes back even further, I'm getting ready to drop it down. Right there, you can still notice I have good space between my elbow and my torso. Because if that elbow drops in, you don't want that. Okay, right there now, the racket is about a foot below the contact point, and the racket face is closed. Now as I swing up from the shoulder, boom, the racket is guaranteed vertical there. Now as I drive through the shot, you'll see that the wrist and the forearm roll over there on the finish. Okay, here you can get a good look at it from the rear. High elbow on the take back, racket face is closed. You can see that clearly. Turning the shoulders. Right there, you can see the racket face is closed. And that's what's going to be key for you on this swing. That's why the backswing is so important on a swinging volley.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Remember, that swinging volley takes good, solid technique, and that elbow up away from the body is really going to help you on that shot. So work on that. Let me know how you're doing. And, remember too, going to the net is a good thing. But when you get that slow floater and you want to use that swinging volley, you need that technique in the toolbox. Remember, you cannot implement good strategy or tactics or a playbook if you don't have the technique to back it up. So please hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel. For more information, please check the description box below. That'll take you to my website. I have some very good courses that'll help you develop consistency, and there's all kinds of things there for you. So check it out, and all the best. Take care.